Alright, welcome back to my channel everyone. I'm Shelby, this is Clever Fox, and today's video is my review of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Yes, it's been forever since I've read this book. Okay, it's been a week. I'm exaggerating, obviously. Anyways, it's been like a week or so, week and a half maybe, and I've avoided all review videos online for Harry Potter and the Cursed Child because I want to make my own video, and I know I'll just like be influenced by everyone else's videos. Yeah, so I've put off actually making a video for this book for like forever because it's just so dear to my heart. I mean, another book in the wizarding world of Harry Potter? Like what the fuck? So, just to preface this, just like I did in my Goodreads review, if you didn't read that, you can read it. It's on my Goodreads. If you're not friends with me on Goodreads, you can be friends with me on Goodreads if that's a thing that you fancy doing. I gave this a 5 out of 5. Yeah. What? A 5 out of 5? Yeah. Mainly for nostalgia purposes, because it's not every day that you get to read another Harry Potter book. Now is it? I mean, you could read a Harry Potter book any day, but like reading it for the first time, again, it's just like something so wonderful and so new, and it was amazing. So I stood in line to get this book at midnight. Yes, I was out of town and I didn't go to the release party in my hometown, but I did find a bookstore where I can get this at midnight. Okay, so it's been like 5 minutes and I haven't even actually said anything about my review of this book, have I? Of course not. Of course not. So, what I thought about this book. I love Scorpius. Let me just start off with that. I love Scorpius. Like, I love him as a character. I think he's one of the most dynamic characters in this book. And I absolutely love that he embodies the theme of friendship and love conquering death type of thing. Am I even speaking English? I have my Goodreads here so that I can, my review, so that in times like these when I'm getting flustered, I can just like read it. So yeah, Scorpius is by far my favorite character from this book. Another character that I actually really liked when I read this was the Trolley Witch. Like, can we talk about her for a quick minute? Like, her character and her having those spike arms. Oh wait, okay, I should have prefaced the very beginning with a spoiler alert. So I'll put that in the very beginning, I guess, somewhere. The Trolley Witch with like fucking spike arms or something? Where'd that come from? Like, what point did it serve in this book for her to have, like, spiky arms? It didn't stop the boys from jumping off the train now, did it? No. And, yeah, it was just so random, but I still loved it. Like, I know that much more about the Trolley Witch, you know? My book, I have some dog-eared pages and some annotations and stuff in here because I wanted to remember the passages that I really liked. Some little hints of foreshadowing here and there and things like that. I loved marking the themes, but I especially like to mark points where I actually cried. Yeah, I cried a handful of times while reading this book because I'm just gonna, this whole video is just gonna go by like stream of consciousness type thing. Anyways, the part that made me cry pretty hard was Act 4, Scene 4. I tweeted about this, so if you follow me on Twitter and you saw that, we talking about it now. It was the part, I shall read it for you actually, because I have it here. It is Act 4, Scene 4. I don't know if you can see that or if it was focused, but it was the part where Dumbledore attempts to reach out of the portrait, but he can't. He begins to cry but tries to hide it. And it's the part where Harry and Dumbledore are talking about love blinding us and how Dumbledore tried to protect Harry in the very beginning from himself because a dangerous old man loved him and he was just trying to protect him from that. They end up both being emotionally moved. Dumbledore cries and they admit to each other that they love each other, which is something that I have been waiting for a very, very long time. So that aside gave me some sort of satisfaction from this book that the other books did not. Something else that wrecked me from this book was the part where Snape turns to Scorpius and he says, Tell Albus Severus I'm proud he carries my name. Now go." At this point, hope was lost for me. I had to stop reading because I love Snape. I know there are some Snape haters out there, but he's like my favorite anti-hero and I love him. Seeing him again, I feel like they got his voice right and perfect, and him acknowledging that Albus was named after him and that saying that he was proud. I don't know, just hearing Snape say that he was proud of someone got me really emotional, and I think that was a clever way of them putting that in there. That didn't make sense. I thought that it was clever that they put that in there because Snape has become such an important, pivotal character in the books, obviously. Another part that I absolutely loved and I will never forget is when the boys are in the maze and they are with Delphi and they run into Cedric. Yeah. I thought it was a little clever that they made it sort of a parallel story, and they had, the boys, Albus and Scorpius, had to tell Cedric that he had to carry on with the challenge, even though they knew that he was going to ultimately die. That was the whole reason why they were there in the first place, was because they wanted to go back and save Cedric, so they went on this entire quest, and they tried to go back in time, use the time turner, and realizing that they had to ultimately send Cedric to his death was just so heart-crushing for me. I was so sad. Having to actually send someone to their death and knowing that that's what you're doing gives the boys a different kind of strength, like an unspoken sort of heaviness, and I don't know, it was just a very strong moment for me in this book, and I won't forget it probably ever. So yeah. Another thing that I absolutely loved was the dynamic between the classic trio, Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Of course, Hermione ends up being Minister for Magic. Like, everyone knows she's a badass. And I got a lot of laughs from Ron's dialogue in here. He ends up running the joke shop, and he's absolutely hilarious. And I think that they got the relationship, the dynamic between him and Ginny perfect in this. I don't know, siblings, it's just fucking hilarious. Ginny puts him in his place every time, and I love that. Yeah, something I didn't like though was how it ended. Maybe because in the other books it left off at a big moment, like a cliffhanger for the next book, or the last book ended in the Battle of Hogwarts, and this one just kind of ended with Harry and Albus, and they're like, "Oh, it's a nice day," and you're like, "Is that it?" I just kind of felt a little bit empty at the end. I didn't really feel anything super emotional to where I closed the book and I was like, "Oh shit." I kind of closed it and I'm like, that's it. Another thing that I know people don't like, I know that people don't like how Cedric in the alternate world where he was a Death Eater just because he was humiliated, and I agree. I don't think that Cedric would ever be like that, but I appreciate the way that they tried to make a super dark world where someone good could turn bad. But I feel like we all know Cedric and we know his characteristics by now, and just because we're so familiar with him, we know that he wouldn't be like that. So I can see what they were trying to do, but also whatever, I'll let it slide. I had an amazing time reading this. Like I said, I feel like the experience trumped everything for me, because it was just like reading a new Harry Potter book for the first time again. Oh, okay, so discussion time now, because I feel like I've discussed with my friends a bit, but like I haven't discussed with anyone on YouTube yet, because obviously I haven't made my own video and I've avoided other videos because I wanted to make my own video first. But did anyone think that, okay, maybe I'm the only person who thought this, but did anyone think that Albus and Scorpius were going to be like a gay couple? Because I totally thought that for a second there, and I was like, all right, I'm digging this. I'm digging this. And did anyone else know already that Delphi was Voldemort's daughter? Because I didn't know, and then I read back a couple pages and I saw a massive foreshadowing and like spoiler of sorts. They said that she was flying and without a broom, and I'm like, oh shit, that sounds like Voldemort. Oh, turns out it is Voldemort's daughter, and she was like super obsessive, just like how Bellatrix was, and I'm like, wow, that's kind of like Bellatrix, and turns out that it's her daughter, so everything works out. But I don't know, did anyone else know? Like, I didn't actually know, but I like to think I did. Like, I kind of knew in the back of my mind, but I didn't really. Whatever. Yeah, so I'd love to know your thoughts on what you thought about that. What else? Well, I'm like just really excited to go watch a bunch of review videos, because now I made my own review video, I can go watch other people's reviews. Yeah, and I feel like all I did this whole video was just like wave this book around. That's all I'm good for, right? I really enjoyed reading this, so that's all I care about. I really want to see the play. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Discuss with me what questions you have, what queries you have about this book. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with me through this book waving video. I don't even know if I've said anything of importance, but I will see you in my next video. It doesn't matter. This is fine. Thank you all so much for watching again. Love you a ton. Bye.